It was a terrible mistake. It was not a deliberate choice. One of the great things about the United States of America is that our Judeo-Christian values, granted, we are not a Christian nation, but we were founded on a certain set of values, our work ethic and so on, we are taught from an early age to be welcoming, to allow other people into our home. We want to give of ourselves. We want to give other people the opportunities we wish we had. We want everybody to be better. Unfortunately, some people will take advantage of that. A prime example of this going about as wrong as possible is the Indian truck driver who was given a commercial driver's license in California and then proceeded to do a U-turn in the middle of a highway in Florida, killing 3 people and harming several others. Our fundamental values in the United States say that this person, just seeking a better life, supposedly, just wants to send money to their family or whatever. They want to do better than they were before. Oh, that fits in with our values. Except the problem is now this person has taken the lives of 3 other people who will never be better, who will never be able to improve their lives, and all of the families that they had, and all of their friends, and the jobs that they performed. Their places in society are now vacant because of this one person. And this one person is not the entire reason for what I'm saying here, but it is the perfect example of a tipping point where we are finally realizing our generosity must end. The problem is that we have for too long allowed our value systems to be exploited by those who will follow the letter of the law, sometimes not even that, frequently not even that, and violate the spirit of the law. Yeah, I collapsed my tripod and I forgot to mention something. There's a petition for the Indian trucker guy. Over 1 million signatories. A lot of them posting videos. All Indian people with heavy Indian accents using the same script. It was a terrible mistake. It was not a deliberate choice. And they're asking for the guy to not get sentenced very much. Well, here's the problem with that. No, you don't get to do that. Indian people have a very strong in-group preference. And that's the problem, is that the only people that aren't allowed to have an in-group preference are white people, male people, and straight people. They're not allowed to have in-group preferences. That's really ultimately what I'm saying, is that you should be able to have those in-group preferences just like every other categorization of human is allowed to have. This needs to end. You should be able to do the same thing that the Indian people are doing for the trucker guy who killed 3 people. Oh, please don't put him in jail for 45 years. Oh no, because he's Indian, and Indians watch out for Indians. But white people aren't allowed to watch out for white people. Straight people aren't allowed to watch out for straight people. Men aren't allowed to watch out for men. Because why? That's racist, sexist, and homophobic. You come here looking for a better life. The problem is if you come here and you break the law by entering illegally, you don't belong here. If you come here looking for a better life, but you overstay your visa, you don't belong here. If you come here looking for a better life, but you don't assimilate into the society, you don't adopt our American values, you don't belong here. If you don't learn English, you don't belong here. I'm sure you could make a laundry list of a lot of different factors that all fall into this general category of if you don't fall into this category, this slot, if you don't have this particular aspect to your personality develop in your journey here, then you don't belong here. This Indian truck driver that killed 3 people doesn't belong here. But the problem is, he doesn't just not belong here, he had multiple opportunities to not be here. He has a very colored history, several points in time at which he committed various crimes or violations. Several times he was denied for things and then later given those things even though he wasn't supposed to. He didn't even know English. He couldn't read street signs. How did he get a commercial driver's license to operate a several tens of thousands of pounds truck? It's a good question, isn't it? But this is the problem. This is one person. This is only one person. But we have millions of people who don't belong here. They do not care about American values. They do not care about being a part of our way of life. They want to carve out a microcosm of their own way of life and expand that microcosm into a macrocosm. They want to take our nation and turn it into their nation, making us, the people who made it something they wanted in the first place, outsiders. This is similar to the video I did on wokeists, where blue state left-leaning people move to red states that are nicer, that don't have high taxes, that don't have high crime rates, that don't have high cost of living, and then promptly proceed to vote the exact same policies in that they ran away from, that they have their own problem. It was basically self-inflicted, but then they bring it with them and they drop it on you and I. But it's not limited to these people, because these people, in having luxury beliefs that make it so that, well, I won't be affected by illegal immigration or allowing criminal gang members to stay in the country. That's not going to affect me. So I have the luxury of believing that it's okay to leave these people here. It would be better to just bring them in, let them stay here and they'll get better, because by being here, that somehow makes you better. You become a better person by having the opportunity to be here. Except a lot of people will come here and they won't. They won't become better people. They will be just as bad as they always have been. They will be just as bad as the country they came from, as the ghetto or the gang or whatever. They will not change. You do not change the nature of a person by bringing them into your home. And notice, the people who believe that this kind of thing should be allowed, they aren't going to let them in their homes. Oh no, you keep that stuff down there. You keep all of the things that I say I believe in, my morality, you keep it over there, away from me. I don't want to have to suffer the consequences. But we have been too generous, and by that I mean we have allowed our identities to be stolen from us. Fundamentally, we are all Americans, but the truth of the matter is, America is still, if you don't count illegal immigrants, H-1B visa holders, etc., significantly, vastly, majority white, and there's at least half the population that's male, and most of the population is also straight. White people have been too generous. The generosity needs to stop. Straight people have been too generous. The generosity needs to stop. Men have been too generous. The generosity needs to stop. And by that I mean, you don't just passively stop, you actively stop. Yes, this is sort of the opposite end of the whole, it's not enough to just not be racist, you must be actively anti-racist thing. It's not enough to just sit on your laurels and go, well, as long as I choose not to participate, then everything's fine. No, that doesn't work. Because as long as you sit back and go, not my problem, it will become your problem as soon as the people are on your doorstep. Just because you're insulated doesn't mean that you're immune. You need to get people in power that will get rid of the people that are going to trash your way of life, that are very happy to do so. And I don't have a problem with people coming here wanting a better life, but it has to be limited. The United States has a little over 300 million people. I think it's like 330 to 350. I don't remember the exact number, but if you take out 30 million illegals, 55 million visa holders, work visa holders, that's like a quarter of the whole population of the country. That's a pretty serious problem. You shouldn't have any of these people here when every single day you see people lamenting, oh, I can't get a job because there's all these job postings, but they're all fake. You have, jobs.now, I think it is, and they post H-1B jobs that they try to hide. Oh, we posted the job in a newspaper or something, and oh, nobody met the requirements we specifically crafted for Americans to not be able to meet them. We've got to bring in another Indian guy from overseas who will be our slave and work for a low wage and that we can control. Even though there's Americans kicking the door down to get these jobs when they find out about them. Millions of Americans want to work and can't get work, not because the work doesn't exist, but because they are actively being denied the work. And it's not limited to white people or straight people or men either. Don't take this as some kind of stupid racist thing. This is about people who are here, who made this place what it is, people who believe in the values that keep America great, actually getting the benefits of their own values. People who come over here, who will not adhere to the value system of America don't belong here. They need to go. You need to get rid of them. You need to actively get rid of them. And that's why I reported the entire town that I live in to ICE. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and all that crap. Leave a comment or a like or dislike or whatever, because YouTube's algorithm is wonky now and they don't care that you viewed it. Leave a comment that just says interaction, so I know that you got the message. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.